Hello, fellow traveller, and welcome to another quiet chapter of history. Before we begin tonight's slow journey through the shadows of the past, I invite you to get comfortable. Dim the lights, turn on a soft background fan if you'd like, maybe a crackling sound of rain or fire. Let the noise of the present melt away. And if you're listening from somewhere around the world, let me know in the comments what time it is for you. It's always comforting to see just how far these slow, quiet stories reach. Now, let's return to the 14th century, to a Europe that was, for all its problems, full of life. Chapter 1. The Arrival of Death. You are standing at the edge of a muddy village road. The sky is grey. The fields are quiet. Chickens pick at the wet straw. Smoke curls from chimneys. It seems like a normal morning, but you feel it, that something is off. You don't know it yet, but the sickness has already set foot in your world. It began far away, across the sea. Ships arrived in southern ports, with half-dead sailors and strange symptoms. Their skin blackened, their breath short. Strange lumps grew on their bodies. People spoke of a curse, of poisoned air, of God's wrath, and still the ships came. The Black Death moved faster than anyone could understand. On carts, in fleas, in breath. One by one cities fell. Venice, Marseille, Florence, Paris. And now it is coming for you. It starts small. A neighbour misses church. A baker doesn't open. A house goes quiet. Then come the signs. Fever, weakness, swelling under the arms and between the legs. The skin darkens. Breathing turns to choking. Pain becomes silence. Then death. Whole families vanish. Doors are nailed shut. Mass graves are dug with shaking hands. Priests stop giving last rites. Children are left to die alone. Some people flee. Others hide. Some wear beaked masks filled with herbs, pretending it will help. Nothing helps. You stop shaking hands. You cover your mouth. You sleep beside a candle, not for warmth, but for comfort. Every cough feels like an omen. Every shadow like a warning. In the cities, things are worse. Carts roll through the streets, collecting bodies. The air smells of ash and fear. Markets close. The poor riot. The rich flee. But the plague moves faster than anyone can run. You start to forget what normal felt like. There are no weddings now. No music. No visitors. Just whispers and quiet prayers. Dogs wander the streets. Fires burn night and day. Sometimes you hear laughter behind locked doors. People throwing one last feast before the end. You stay. Not because you feel safe, but because there is nowhere to go. And still, somehow, you survive. After months, the plague slows. It doesn't vanish. But the daily deaths begin to lessen. The carts stop coming. The silence grows heavier, but quieter too. You're still here. You've lost friends, family, neighbours, but your heart still beats. And now you notice something else. Need. The land must be tilled. The food must be made. But there are fewer hands, fewer rules, fewer lords. You, a peasant, are suddenly valuable. Lords offer coin. Towns offer freedom. Wages rise. People begin to ask for more, and for the first time they are heard. The old system, feudalism, chains, silence, starts to break. Not everywhere, not all at once, but enough. And from this ruin something new begins. Not hope, not yet, but change. Chapter 2. Collapse. You wake up to silence. No birds, no church bell. Just the faint creak of wood as your home settles around you. The air is thick. You haven't opened the shutters in 2 days. Outside, the village is fading. The baker is gone. The blacksmith's door is swinging in the wind. A cow moans from a nearby pen, unfed. No one comes to help. No one even knocks anymore. This isn't fear. It's something past fear. a kind of stillness, like the world is holding its breath. You walk to the well. There's a man slumped beside it, face down, unmoving. You stop, step back. You want to help, but you don't. You can't. You hold your breath as you pass. You don't know if it's the air or the touch or the look in their eyes, but something about the dying feels contagious. You draw water quickly. Your hands shake. You drink it in one gulp, even though it tastes of metal. You return home without speaking to a soul. The days blend together. You lose count. You sleep too long, eat too little. You hear distant crying. Sometimes you wonder if it's in your head. You bury a neighbour in their garden. Just you. No priest, no words. You cover the body with dirt and say nothing. You knock on a door to check on a friend. No answer. You knock again. Eventually you walk away. Some try to explain it. They blame the stars, the smell of the air, foreigners, sin. Others march through towns, whipping themselves in hopes that pain will earn God's mercy. They chant, they bleed, then they vanish too. The churches begin to empty. The priests who survive stop answering calls. You light your own candles now. You find an old man in the chapel. He is not praying, just sitting, staring ahead. His clothes are soaked with sweat, his lips cracked. You think he's dying. You ask if he needs water. He nods. You bring him some. He drinks. He doesn't speak. Later, when you check again, he's gone. It's not just sickness anymore. It's hunger. The fields are untended. Grain rots in sacks. Animals starve. You chew dry bread and try not to think about how little is left. You see smoke in the distance. A house burning. Maybe it was mercy. Maybe it was madness. Maybe someone was trying to stop the spread. You don't ask. You don't go. You just watch until the fire dies. Some say the cities are worse. You believe it. You've heard of bodies stacked like wood, of rivers choked with corpses, of towns where no one is left alive. But you've stopped wondering what's worse. You've seen enough. One morning, you feel something strange. The wind is still. The sky is clear. The road is empty. But for the first time in weeks, you don't feel watched. There's no coughing, no crying, just silence. It's eerie, but also a relief. Could it be over? You don't know. You sit down in the grass. You let the sun touch your face. You close your eyes. And for a moment, you breathe. Chapter 3. The Empty World. You walk the same path to the village square, but it feels like a dream now. No voices, no clatter of carts, no children chasing chickens. Just your own footsteps, soft in the dust. The tavern door hangs open. Inside, cobwebs stretch across the rafters. A single cup sits on a table, as if someone meant to return, but no one does. You call out, just to hear your own voice. No answer. Even the birds are quiet now. Even the dogs have stopped barking. You used to know every face here. The old woman who sold herbs. The boy with the wooden sword. The man with the crooked back who still danced at festivals. All gone. You find a note pinned to a door. Gone to the hills. No name. No sign of when. You check the chapel. The candles have burned to stumps. The altar is covered in dust. The bell rope is gone. You're not the only one alive. Sometimes you see others. Shadows in windows. Figures on distant roads. No one speaks. No one waves. Just a nod. A glance. Then they disappear again. It's not fear. It's something else. A quiet agreement. Stay away. Stay alone. Don't bring it back. At night, the world feels even larger. You lie awake and listen. Not for danger, but for any sound at all. A bird, a fox, a branch cracking. Sometimes you hear music, a faint tune carried on the wind. Or maybe it's in your head. You try not to go mad. You speak to yourself now. And when you say your name, it feels strange, like it belongs to someone else. One day, you see smoke. A campfire, just beyond the edge of the village. You hesitate, then walk toward it. A girl is sitting beside the flames. Her clothes are torn, but she's clean, calm. She watches you approach. You ask if she's alone. She nods. You sit. She offers you a boiled root. You eat in silence. When the fire dies, she leaves without a word. You never see her again. The seasons begin to shift. The wind is colder. The nights are longer. The trees thin out. You prepare what you can. Dried meat, stale grain, water stored in jugs. You find a locked home and make it your own. The bed is small, the roof leaks, but it is yours. You light a candle each night. Sometimes you talk to it. In your dreams, the village is whole again. You walk through the market. People laugh. The bell rings. Children run past. Then you wake, and the silence returns. You've stopped marking days. Time means little now, but you are still here, and that means something. Chapter 4. The Shift. You wake to birdsong. It startles you, not because it's loud, but because it's alive. You step outside. The air is cool. A breeze stirs the grass. The sky is clear for the first time in weeks. The world didn't end. It just paused. Now, slowly, it begins to move again. You walk further than usual, past the village edge, down roads that once led to other lives. You find homes left standing, but silent, fields overgrown, fences broken. But here and there, you see signs. A candle stub, a blanket on a floor, a loaf of bread left half-eaten. Someone else has passed through. Someone else is still alive. At a distant crossroads, you meet two men. They stand beside a cart filled with tools and grain. One nods to you, the other grips a staff. They don't ask who you are. They only ask, "Are you well?" You say yes. That's all they need. They offer to trade. A knife for bread, a coat for dried herbs. You make the exchange in silence. Then they go one way, and you go another. But it feels like something important just happened. You return home thinking about it. People are starting to move again. Not many. Not fast, but enough. They walk different paths now. Not to serve, but to survive. To rebuild. Word spreads. In the next town over, there are open fields. No lord, no taxes. Just work and land. You think about going. But not yet. You notice other changes. The manor house nearby sits empty. Its master is dead. Its servants gone. The grain stores are still full. You take what you need. No one stops you. There is no punishment now. Only survival. One evening a boy appears, thin, quiet, carrying a sack of barley over his shoulder. He asks if he can stay the night. You nod. You share food. He says little. You don't push. In the morning he's still there. He mends the roof without being asked, feeds the chickens, and stays. You don't ask why. You don't need to. Together, you plant a new garden. The soil is rough, but it listens. You dig rows. You share silence. You begin to speak again. Not of the past, but of next season. Of what might grow. Of what might return. The boy laughs once. It surprises both of you. You hear news. A traveller passing through says towns are rebuilding. Priests are returning. New markets are opening in the south. But also rebellions. Peasants demanding pay. Lords fleeing. Armies disbanded. The old order is trembling. With so many dead, there are more questions than answers. Who owns the land now? Who gives the orders? Who listens? You don't care much for politics. But you do care that when you work, it feeds you now. You care that your hands are your own, that your days are no longer borrowed from someone else. The world is changing. You can feel it, not loudly, not quickly, but under your feet something shifts, like soil turning in spring, like breath after a long fever, like hope, quiet and unspoken. Chapter 5. What Remains. The earth is quiet, not silent, but changed. It's been months now since the worst of it passed. Your breath no longer fogs with fear. The days feel longer, the wind softer. The boy still lives with you. He's stronger now. So are you. One morning, you find yourself whistling. Not a tune you recognize, just sound. Something light, and it catches you by surprise. You don't stop. The village is still mostly empty, but life is returning in pieces. A family arrives in a wagon. A woman leads a goat through the grass. Children wander through the square, pointing at broken homes like they're ruins from a story. Someone rebuilds the chapel roof. A fire is lit in the tavern hearth. No one asks who owns what. No one gives orders. People just do. You plant more this year. Wheat, onions, beans, a few herbs. You trade with neighbours now, simple things. Eggs for salt, candles for cloth. No coins. Just value, person to person. You can feel it. The old system is breaking down. Not with swords, but with quiet refusals. The lords are gone. The taxes have stopped. The priest who returns does not speak of punishment, but of gratitude. Even he seems humbled by what's happened. You meet others who walked for days just to find new beginnings. A woman who was once a servant now speaks of starting a school. A man who fled a city now keeps bees. A group of orphans plant trees near the river and call it their home. No one asks permission. There's no one left to say no. You keep track of time by the moon now, by the growth of your garden, by the warmth of the boy's laughter as he teaches the new goats to follow him. One night he asks you what it was like, at the worst of it. You think for a long time. Then you say, quiet. You remember things that no longer seem real. The panic, the sickness, the burning of homes, the days you went without eating, the nights you couldn't cry anymore. You remember the sound of carts collecting bodies, the way the world shrank to just one room, one breath, one heartbeat. It feels far away now, but not forgotten. Some want to move on quickly, to forget, to build cities again, markets, roads, power. Others resist. They say, let us remember, let us honour the silence, let us not go back to what failed us. You understand both. You stand in the middle, with your hands in the soil, knowing that the future will not ask for your permission, but you'll still shape it. One day, you visit the old manor. Its doors are open now, stripped bare. You walk its halls slowly. The tapestries are torn, the floors cracked, but the ceiling still holds. You think of all who once ruled here, their titles, their coins, their ledgers. None of it matters now. The wind lives here, and you. You take a chair from the dining hall, carry it home, place it beside the fire. It becomes your favourite seat. In town, you hear a girl singing. Her voice is high and clear. People stop to listen. No one says a word. No one applauds. They just stand there, quietly, letting it happen. For the first time, it doesn't feel like something is missing. It feels like something is beginning. There will be other plagues, other losses. You know that. But you also know this. You endured. You adapted. You changed. And so did the world. The night is cool. The stars are sharp. The fire beside you crackles low. The boy sleeps with the dog curled at his feet. You sit in your borrowed chair and watch the sky. And for the first time in a long while, you do not feel afraid of what comes next.